Hello, my name is Mike. I'm here to talk to you about the dangers of synthetic marijuana. I'm 26 years old. Today's date is 9/25th, 2014. I currently went to the hospital 1 week ago, 7 days ago. I decided to quit spice. I smoked it for 6 years. I got started by a buddy that introduced me into it while I was in the military. All we knew was it got you a similar high to what marijuana did. It was a little more intense, and we didn't know too much about it. We just thought it was natural, thought it was fun, figured they sold it at shops, it was legal. Basically, same thing you hear everybody else say. Didn't know. Lack of information. For the past 7 days, I've been going through the worst withdrawal, the worst pains I've ever gone throughout my whole life. This stuff is not a joke. If you, your friends, your family, anyone you know who is using it, even if you just know of somebody, tell them to stop. It's not worth it. The heart risk, the morning pukeness, the pukeness when you take a hit after you don't take one for a while, the cravings are not worth it, the tremors, the cold sweats at night, then you get hit with the hot sweats after you throw up. It affects your body a lot more than what you really think it does. When I first started smoking, I didn't think there was nothing wrong with me. I just thought it was regular. Just a nice little high, just getting high with the friends. It's all legal. Just recently, I started getting really sick. And I was noticing it was because of the spice. Every time I go hit it in the morning, I take that first hit, I go to vomit. Then I feel normal. And I need it after that, every 15 minutes or so. Not only does it cost a lot of money, but it's very, very, very easily abused. It's constantly changing, so the chemicals are constantly being switched around. Therefore, you can order it, and each batch of new chemicals is just doing something new to your body. You don't know what it's doing. It could be a long-term effect, it could be a short-term effect, or it could have no effect at all, but you don't know. Nobody knows, and that's the dangerous part. I recently just went to the hospital for it. On my own terms. I wanted to quit. The first day I decided to quit, immediately took effect. Within an hour to 2 hours, I started vomiting. Waking up every half hour. I did that for the first 24 hours. I went in and had my mother admit me to the ER. There, they got me hooked up to an IV, shot me up with a little bit of medicine, prescribed me promethazine, a 15-day pill prescription, and told me that I would do fine, but just don't touch it again. Stuck to those words since I've been doing it 6 years strong, and I've been going with, and since I've been going in and out of a bunch of symptoms going through it since I've been smoking it, this is by far the worst. It's trying to get off of it. I don't know how it's so dependent. I don't know what it does that makes it so dependent. All I know is I'm doing a bunch of research on it, and I'm just finding out that people are having the same reactions I'm having. And I'm having quite a few more that are not on some of the list. Like as my jaw. My teeth are starting to feel funny. I can't bite and chew foods without it feeling funny. This was only the first 7 days, okay? This is the dangerous as this shit does to you. Your body feels fatigued. I thought I was going to be done taking this. And I said, my prescriptions are done. I'm done with spice. I think I'm strong enough to pull through. But after 7 days of taking my last one, I realized it was a harsher effect it has done in my body. Basically, as soon as I stopped taking the medication, once it wore off, all the symptoms came back and I went through the complete withdrawal again. I almost wanted to break down and smoke it again, but I'm not going to. I'm too strong of a character to do that. Too willed. Instead, every time I feel like I want to take a hit, I'm going to talk to you guys. You're going to be my influence so I don't go back to it. This is going to help me help you guys out. There's not too much information out on these drugs, so nobody knows what really is the long-term effects. Everybody's just figuring it out along as they go. I'm hoping my story will touch at least one other person's life, if not more. If I can prevent one kid from touching it, I'm happy with just that. I hope I prevent more kids from, but you know how we are. We're going to do whatever we want anyway. I just hope you guys don't touch it. It's a nasty, nasty, nasty addiction. Synthetic marijuana is not like natural marijuana. Unlike many, many, many studies that they have of natural marijuana, there aren't very many studies for the synthetic marijuana. And so far, all it has been doing is affecting with people, killing people, putting people into seizures, knocking people into a coma. There's a bunch of other stuff it's been doing. Making people vomit, shake, not sleep, become weak, agile, vision impaired, hearing loss, blurred vision, paranoia, and these are just few of the symptoms. Some people even have hallucinations. For example, here's something that it can do to you as well. I was in a car with one of my buddies. He was driving. We were in Washington. We decided to smoke a blunt of synthetic marijuana. We've been doing it in the Army for a while, so alright, we got a nice little tolerance, we're going to do it. Well, as we start smoking it, he shows me this new bag. It was called Maya at the time. At first we thought it was awesome because it was so potent. My buddy starts going pale. Starts swerving. It's starting to get me worried because I'm not going through this. And he's behind the wheel. I tell him to pull over. He can barely comprehend what I'm saying, but luckily I managed to get him to listen. He pulls over. He stops the car. Once we get the car stopped, he starts freaking out and tells me that it feels like his heart stopped and he's dying. I cannot make this up. I got out the passenger seat. I went to the driver's seat. And he couldn't even move. I had to move him over to the next seat. Being scared, I did not want to take him to the hospital. But I would have. I start driving back towards base. As we pull into the base, he starts vomiting profusely. Sweating, shaking. I thought he was having a seizure. Me dealing with seizures, it looked like one that my brothers had in the past. To my surprise, it was not a seizure. He was going in and out of consciousness. Since I can't pull on base like that, I pull over to the gas station. I go inside, I get some wipes, I wipe it up real quick. Long story short is when we got into base, we got back, he ended up passing out for 8 hours. Luckily, he ended up coming out of it. At that point in time, I should have stopped. We've already had numerous cases where people were getting rushed to the Fort Lewis hospitals, to the local hospitals outside of the Tacoma area, Seattle, Washington area, the Lakewood. This shit is not a joke. What people need to start doing is more research on it. That's where my lack of knowledge came from. Me, I just went by what everybody else said. You could buy it at the smoke shop and it's legal. True. But I guarantee you, if you do the research, you will find that the symptoms you are facing early on are going to be the symptoms you are going to be facing a lot longer, harsher. And that is just the reality of it. I have been off of it for 7 days now. I cannot go to sleep. Every time I lay down, I close my eyes. I either hear voices or I see figures in my head. And I wake up to every 20 to 30 minutes. At this point in time, I cannot go back to sleep. I either get cold, I get hot, I start sweating, or I have trouble breathing. This medicine that they prescribed to me, promethazine 25 milligram tablets. It was a quantity of 15. Take one per every 8 hours. It lasted me from Friday last week till today, which is Friday. I've been taking one every 8 hours like I've been prescribed, and it's helped with the nausea. Yesterday, I missed my dosage one time because I started feeling my strength back. I thought the nausea was gone, and I thought maybe I wouldn't be going through withdrawals no more and I can finally be done with this spice stuff. That wasn't the case. I woke up later that night. I can't explain what it felt like. It was the worst, harshest, most unpleasant feeling I've ever felt being sick. You really don't know what this does to your body until you mess with it and let it affect you. And that is the case for everybody I've heard use it. One of my best friends right now, I've been sharing him the information that I've had since I've quit. I'm hoping that he sticks with it. He's on day 5 today of no sleep, going through the same symptoms I'm going through. Although he hasn't gone through the doctor because he doesn't want to yet. He doesn't think it's in his best interest to go to the doctor. But I think he should. But he's on day 5 now. No sleep. Same symptoms. He can't eat. Can't sleep. When he does go to sleep, it's for 5 minutes. Wakes right back up. Sweats. Vomiting. Diarrhea. It's hard. It's hard. It's not a comfortable pain. Sometimes it's your stomach. Sometimes it's your head. Sometimes it's your arms. Sometimes it's your legs. Sometimes it's your jaw. Sometimes you're trying to swallow some food down or something to drink. It's very, very difficult. Depending on how serious you are feeling that withdrawal that day, it will differ. I want kids to realize this is not a joke. You don't want to mess with the synthetic marijuana. It does not do the same thing as marijuana does. It's not like any other drug that's out there. If you see synthetic drug anywhere, do not use it. I don't care if it's synthetic ecstasy. I've never taken that. I've never taken bath salts, and I've never taken the heroin version of the synthetics. Nor do I want to. If the synthetic marijuana is that bad, imagine those other chemicals. You're digesting them, ingesting them, swallowing them, drinking. It's not a fun feeling. I want everybody to know the side effects of this. Everybody. I'm going to documentary my symptoms from here until I'm completely sober. And I'm going to keep going on there, see if I have any other symptoms, lung problems, so you guys can see what the long terms and the short terms effects are from quitting and why you don't want to touch it. This is a very, very serious situation that is in our world today. Not just in the United States, not just in a couple parts of the country, all over, globally. And no one really knows what it's doing to people. The drug companies don't really know what chemicals are being put because there's so many brand new chemicals each day that they're finding out. For the ones that they do find out, there's more new ones being brought into the equation. Meaning that there's just going to be more symptoms, and more symptoms, and more symptoms. And it's just going to keep impacting people's lives. You're going to affect your family's life. You're going to affect your own life. You're going to affect your work life. You're going to affect your health. And you're going to affect the health around everyone around you. Now, I had to go re-up on my prescription today because I am not going to be able to do this on my own without the help of the people around me. But I'm strong enough to admit that. And I'm hoping that I can defeat this. And I'm hoping that I get lucky and I don't pass away like some people already have, or get some of the serious health infections that some people already have been diagnosed with for doing this drug. I've been doing it for 6 years, and I have been fortunate enough to not had any serious problems until this withdrawal has started happening. I've been lucky enough to never been hospitalized for smoking synthetic marijuana. This is my story. This is day number 7 of my intox. I have just now finally stopped the vomiting, but I still go through shakes. I still go through pains. The cravings are still there. I have to force myself to drink water. And I have to force myself to eat. When I force myself to eat, I have to force myself to swallow, and it is not a pleasant feeling because your muscles don't work the same no more. And when you're on this medication, it doesn't help because this medication makes you drowsy. So it makes it even more harder to swallow. What I found out works is bananas and ramen noodles. And I will be out there when I'm done making my documentary. Thank you. I will keep making my videos. daily from here on out. I would have done this 7 days ago if I would not have been in bed all day. I will evaluate and talk to you guys more. And I'm going to give you guys as much knowledge as I can. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get into what synthetic drugs go into actual synthetic marijuana. There's other people already going into this, warning people about the dangers of this drug. I wish I would have listened. I didn't. With that being said, I hope someone listens to my video, my words. Because I've been fortunate enough to not have anything happen to me yet. And I'm not saying nothing will, because we don't know what the long-term effects are yet. I plan on staying strong enough to go through this. It's a hard feeling, I'm not gonna lie. But it's definitely every day. It's nicer knowing that I'm doing the right thing for myself, for my kids, for my family. It's tearing me apart from everything in my life. I can't hold a job when I'm on it. I can't maintain my health when I'm on it. I can't maintain a proper nutrition, meaning eating proper meals a day. My liquid intake has to be monitored by myself regularly, because if I don't, then I will not drink it. And I will slowly get dehydrated. If anybody else is feeling these symptoms out there, please stop. Please stop before something serious happens. If nothing as serious already has happened. My name is Michael Snelson. I'm going to continue sharing my story and my steps through this whole process. Hopefully, if I start getting more symptoms back, I'll try to record those too so you can see what I'm going through. Maybe catch the harsh realities of it. I want my word to be spread around. I don't care if people look at me as dumb. I'd rather save a kid's life and be called a retard for the mistakes I have made in my life than see another human being put his life through the same things I have gone through. In the past 6 years, while on Spice, I have ruined my military career. Ruined the relationship between many friends and lots of family. It hurts. Luckily, I still got the support from everybody that I know. And it's tough. But if I can get through it, I know if somebody else can. And reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody. If you see somebody wanting to do it, tell them no. Stay away from it. It's not worth it. That little high for 20 minutes can be the end of your life in 20. And I've seen people go in a coma on it. I've seen people get hospitalized on it. I've seen people pass out on it. I've seen people have seizures on it. I've seen people fall backwards and hit their head on the concrete on it. I've seen people's eyes dilate till they're all black, to where I'm worried that they're going to go into a rage or a frenzy, to where I have to have a weapon around me just in case something happens. People go into rages and episodes on this drug, and I have been fortunate enough not to have experienced that with anyone around me or with anyone. I have never experienced it personally, that I don't think. But when you're on this drug, you really don't know what you really can control, because you think you're acting one way and you're acting a totally different way. If you don't believe me and you see one of your buddies smoking synthetic marijuana one day, tell him to stop, and if he doesn't, don't smoke it with him. Stay with him. Pull out your camera and record him. When he's done being high, show him the video. It'll be an eye-opener. I'm really wanting to change now. After I saw what it's put me and so many of my friends through, and all of my friends' lives that it has ruined. Villanueva, Casey Weiss, those were two of my army buddies that I got started with. And now all three of us are out of a career. And luckily, from what I know, they're still alive and they're doing well. And if it wasn't for the military kicking them out, they might have still been on it. When I got kicked out, I was unfortunate enough to have been able to get it locally. The smoke shop sold it around. Gas stations sold it around. It's more dangerous than what you think. It's not like anything you think you can control. Because that moment you think you have it controlled, you're already week or month 2 into it. Everyday use, it went from 1 bag a day to 3 bags a day, which is 9 grams basically. And that's basically what the average spice smoker smokes a day. Anywhere from 3 to 9 grams, if not more. It's very easily available. If you can't find it at one local place, another local place will have it because of the chemicals that's in it. If your government has it banned, it will be unbanned in a different name. And companies are getting away with killing thousands and thousands of people a day by basically poisoning you without giving you the information that they're poisoning you. And you're willingly putting that into your body. Day 7, no sleep. I'm going to tell you, it sucks. I've not literally been asleep in 7 days. I nap here and there, and I literally nap 15 minutes if that. I feel happy when I get 20 minutes of rest. I want everybody to share my video. If you know me, I'm not embarrassed. Because I'm going to get off this shit. I already know me. I'm going to fight this shit. But if the people around me can see it and see what the hell I'm on, because I've kept this a secret for a long time. If you know what I'm on, then you know how dangerous it is. Or you don't know. Maybe you don't. I don't know. And I can't tell you to quit. I'm not that. I can't tell you to do that. But research it. Try to stop. Stop for 7 days. I give you the 7-day Stop Spice Challenge. And every one of them days, film yourself for them 7 days. I give you, America, the 7-day Stop Spice Challenge. It's bad. It affects lives. It really does. So I hope my video gets passed around. I want everybody to share it with their friends. I want this to get across the world. I don't want it just to get across America. I want this to get to kids everywhere. There's not enough information based on this drug. I went to the hospital, and they do not know nothing. They could not tell me nothing. They couldn't tell me what kind of symptoms I had. They could not tell me nothing. They don't know nothing about this drug. I had to do the research myself, and I was in disbelief at what I found. I am not gonna lie. I found videos upon videos upon videos of people trying to put this out. They're not telling you. They're not telling you what's in it. They can't tell you what's in it. It's too new of a drug. So please stop before you hurt yourself. If you know anybody that else does it, spread the word. If they don't listen, that's fine. Chances are they're probably not going to listen, because I was that person too. And I didn't want to listen. I smoked it for 6 years straight. I didn't want to listen. It's nasty. It's a nasty, nasty thing. So, I'm going to spread my video, embarrass myself a little bit. But at the same time, I'd rather embarrass myself and save a life than just go through this alone. So, with that being said, take care and be safe. Don't put anything synthetic in your body. It's not good for you. It's a bunch of chemicals. They got rat poison in it, methamphetamines, heroin. You're going to be surprised at what chemicals they put in. You're going to be really surprised. Glass, baby powder, pharmaceuticals. They don't want you spreading word about this drug. But it's a reality. A harsh reality we was faced with. We need to start educating our children on it now, before it's too late, before they grow up and are able to purchase it in their own local area. Stop the addiction today. Thank you. I challenge you to do the 7-day challenge, and I challenge you to quit.